Coach, Greg Kearns here. Congrats on the first win of the season. Can you elaborate on what Sean McNeil showed from the end of last year through preseason to earn his first start tonight for you?
Well, he shot the ball really well this whole preseason, and he's defensively. And when you score as much as like he and Taz do, you're not a very good coach if you tell him go guard the best guy all the time. Because you got to have him on the floor, and I think he's come a long way defensively. He didn't shoot it as well today as what he has been shooting it.
Hi, Tom Savage with the Associated Press. About the rebounding, you're such a dominant rebounded. You just curious about your thoughts on that.
Well, we couldn't keep Derek on the floor. That hurts us, and I think he's one of the premier rebounders in the country. And you take him off, and the way they play kind of led to a lot of long rebounds because it's everything is so much penetrating pitch and shooting threes. So the different kind of rebounding than what we're kind of used to.
Got a question from Max Zimmer, RJ Media. Coach, just curious what your impressions were of South Dakota State's team.
I think they're really good. I saw them on tape. They're good. They're extremely well coached. They make shots. They really do a good job of handling the ball and creating shots for one another. I think they're really good. Extremely well coached.
We have one more question up here in the film room.
Coach Greg Kearns, one more for you here. You kind of touched on it. You guys just couldn't seem to get going consistently offensively tonight. And was it as simple as shots really just not falling, or was it something specific that they were doing to you?
Probably a combination of both. We're a team that likes to throw it close, at least part of the time. And they did a really good job of packing everything in and really taking away our post play. And we're fortunate enough to have these two guys who can make shots for us, and along with Sean. So I think they're a lot better, I think, than what our guys thought they were. And we really didn't get a whole lot of scout. I think we just had one of their games, and when I watched their games, I was like, wow, these guys are good. And and the truth of the matter is, we're supposed to play Texas A&M, and then they dropped out, and then we were going to play Northern Iowa, and then they had to move to play somebody else, and so we actually did 4 scouts. And obviously we didn't do a great job on the last one, but we had already done 3, so we were running out of time.
For everyone on Zoom, we have Miles McBride has joined us as well. We'll take questions from Zoom now. Let's start with Greg Hunter.
So, Coach, just start with getting to be able to play. I mean, there's been times in this fall, a lot of people wondered if basketball would start. So were you happy just to be able to get things going?
Yeah, I think the way we ended the year last year, we were playing really well at the end. We were looking forward to the conference tournament, looking forward to the NCAA tournament, and it ended so abruptly that we were really looking forward to being able to play, and then everything happened, and we didn't get the scrimmage that we lobbied for and got, and then that was taken away, and actually the exhibition game was taken away. So this is the first time of playing anybody other than ourselves. So it's different. I mean, it's really different. And as I told them in the locker room, we don't know. I mean, we're on a day-to-day basis, and we don't know how many more games we're going to play or anything else. So we need to enjoy and kind of cherish the ones that we get, on a day-to-day basis.
We'll take some questions for the student athletes now. Let's start with Justin Jackson.
Hey, Deuce, I was just wondering if you could talk about, starting the first game of the season. You started a couple games last year, but, this is the season opener after a long layoff. What was kind of going through, your mind as you're warming up, getting ready to start the game?
Honestly, just to come out there and, try to get the ball to my teammates and let the game come to me, honestly. The first thing when you step out on the floor is to compete and to win, and that's really the only thing that's going through my head when I step on the floor.
And then if I could ask a follow-up, you really seem to excel in a game tonight, driving to the foul line, getting 10 to 12 footers to go in tonight. Kind of talk about that part of your game.
Yeah, I mean, that's always been the main part of my game is, pull-up jumpers and trying to get to the foul line and things like that. And I just relied on it, and the shots went in today.
Let's go to Michael Kazara. Michael, please unmute your line.
All right, how's this?
Yep, we can hear you. Thank you.
Great. If I can, I just want to get back to Coach Huggins for a second. Not looking for a scouting report, but kind of had news today about scheduling Gonzaga. How did that come about? Just relationships and finding a spot?
We were sitting in a room last night, and it came across the ticker that Tennessee couldn't play because of the COVID-19, and so I thought, what the heck, let's call ESPN. So I called some guys that I've known for a long time and said, hey man, can you work this out, get us into Jimmy V and play Gonzaga? And he said, let me call you back. I'll call you back in 10-15 minutes. He called me back and he said, we got it done, you're in. So it happened pretty quick.
Michael, any questions for the student athletes?
All good, thanks.
Okay, thank you. Let's go to Kevin Kinder.
For Deuce and Taz, when Oscar went out in the first half, did that lead y'all to, think he had to take more threes? I got to think 32 is a few more than what you were planning on taking coming in.
They really did a good job of just packing in their defense and just not allowing easy passes into the post, and that's usually our bread and butter. And same thing with DC, and they just forced us to take shots that we usually wouldn't take, even though we have good shooters. We usually just try to throw the ball inside and work inside out, but they did a good job of really just packing everything in, and especially without Oscar, that's a big hit, him in foul trouble. And, it basically had us to where we had to figure out how to score, and then that's when me, Deuce, Sean, and, Emmett had a couple of jumpers. That's where we came in to help uplift the scoring.
Yeah, definitely. When you take out Oscar, I think you have to rely on different things, especially like Taz said, they were packing it in so well, and they just played really solid on defense. I think, a lot of the shots I think we can make, it just didn't go in today. I think we're going to obviously look at the film and see other ways we can get our offense moving better and have a little bit more flow to it.
Next question from Charles Montgomery.
Actually, I have a question for Coach Huggins. Coach, early on, Sean McNeil, he wasn't really hitting his shots, but obviously you kept him in. Is that something you kind of wanted to focus on, was just let him stay in, try and get into that rhythm, don't take him out, just let him put up shots?
Well, he shot it really well the last week or so, and so have these two guys. I mean, when they're open, I want them to shoot it, and Deuce, because he's got more ball handling responsibilities, didn't get as many as maybe he could have or should have, and I've been thinking, I guess in the back of my mind, that if we put Taz, Deuce, and Sean on the floor at the same time, we can really get the floor spread. But they did, like Taz said, they did a great job of packing it in and trying to keep the bigs away from it. And I mean, Derek ends up with 14 rebounds, so he was more effective, I think, than our other bigs.
And final two questions. We'll start with Chris Anderson.
For everybody up there, 3 turnovers tonight for the players. Was this something you noticed? Was this something you felt, did you do something differently in this game? And Coach Huggins, was this something you guys practiced in the offseason and prepared for to get better this season?
Well, they had their defense is more at pack line and not take things away, so it was easy to make passes. And I feel like sometimes we made the right pass and the correct pass, and we just, when it was open, we took our shots, and we just, especially we didn't have that many assists as well, so we didn't pass the ball as well as I thought we did, but also we didn't turn over the ball. So, it's a win. It's a win-win in that situation. We just got to capitalize more off of passing the ball and moving the ball around to get to scoring, and then just letting the ball stick to our hands. And once we do that, we'll be a good team.
Yeah, definitely. Like Taz said, when the team's going to pack it in, it's easy to make passes, and you don't have to worry about as much as somebody getting up in the passing lanes. You can kind of throw wherever. But I think it's my job as a point guard to really get the offense flowing better. But honestly, we knew if we would take care of the ball, we were going to win a lot of games this year. So obviously we put a lot of focus into that this offseason. I think if we just defend a little bit better, we could have opened up the game a little more.
And final question from Cody Nesper.
This is for Taz. I know it's only one game, but did it feel like there was a big difference from you year 1 to year 2?
Well, it's mainly just confidence in finding your niche within the system. When Hugs was recruiting me, he knew what type of player I was, and then he keeps reiterating to me, just keep being me, keep playing my game. When you open, shoot the ball. So I was trying to really do that today. It was packing the defense in so much in our bigs. We just had so many open shots, and I was trying to just capitalize off of that.